Alright, I got my mixer going because we're making a white velvet cake. This is probably the #1 most requested birthday cake that I make for all 7 of the kids. They absolutely love this one, and it is super easy, super simple. Alright, so over here in my mixer, I already started creaming together 3 sticks of butter, that's a 1.5 cups, and I have a 1.5 cups of sugar. So it's over here and it's gotten all nice and light and fluffy. And to this, I'm going to add 2 eggs. Now, do your eggs one at a time. You've gotten all this wonderful air in there by creaming together the butter and sugar and letting it have its turn. Don't shortchange the eggs. You really want an emulsification. So you want everything to really be well mixed when you add the second egg. That gives everybody a chance to kind of go get happy with each other. Alright, that's about good. You see, it's all mixed. See? Next egg. Plop. Alright, the fats and the eggs and the liquid in there and the fat and the butter and the chunky crystals of the sugar are all coming together to start forming what will leaven the cake or lighten the cake up. So we're going to let this go for just a minute. And we're going to come over here. I have, actually, you know what? I almost broke one of my rules. When you're making cakes or baked goods, make sure you scrape down the sides of the bowl because you'll have streaks and bits of ingredients that will cling to the side of the bowl. That's just my excuse. Cling to the side of the bowl and they won't be fully incorporated. Okay, so 2 cups of flour, and this is plain old all-purpose flour, and baking soda, and 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And I like to use table salt when I'm baking just because I think it's better than kosher salt because it more easily dissolves and distributes throughout the baked goods. That's it. So we're just going to run all of this through a strainer. And I do it this way. You're doing this because this really fully mixes your dry ingredients. Make sure that your dry ingredients are also not packed down. And then check this out. This is the #1 reason why you do it. We've been on a wet spell here in East Tennessee for a while. And the flour is in a sealed container and it still absorbs moisture. So you want to make sure that you're not putting those big lumps in your batter. Now, here we go. Anything that's, that small, get rid of it. It's fired. Alright, fired. Okay, now I've got a cup of buttermilk over here. And we're going to do this in 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 steps. I have to count. Be afraid. Alright, we're putting about, I don't know, about 1/3, maybe that was more than 1/3, of the flour mixture. And we're going to start beating that. You don't want to put it all in there once because you don't want to bust up all those air bubbles. Other reason is, flour contains gluten. Gluten will be activated by the liquid that was in the eggs and that was in the butter and that we're adding with the buttermilk. We want some gluten. I mean, you don't want your cake to be, flat. You want some structure and some lift to it. But you really don't want to activate it like you would in bread by kneading your cake batter. That's not good. Alright, so we're kind of doing this in stages. It's like we're letting our cake batter get used to the shock of what's happening to it. Go nice and easy on it. So as it starts to come together and as it dampens, that's when you add the rest of your liquids. Now we're going to give it just enough time to get nice and smooth, but not enough time to just beat the fire out of it because then you'll have a tough cake. And I'm wearing the flour. Yeah. Okay, so once again, gotta scrape down the sides of your bowl. We don't want big pockets. Oh wow. It smells really, really good. Let's see. We don't want big pockets of unmixed or unincorporated ingredients. So I mean, scraping down the side of your bowl is that's one of my better tricks. That helps to make a nice even cake. Now, I'll let that go for just a minute. It's almost ready. Hang on. Wait, don't leave me. This is one of my new favorite things. I almost lost it. I have ground vanilla. Okay, the pretty little things that you see when you're eating really good vanilla ice cream. All this is the pod and the seed of the vanilla ground together. I think. It's almost like concentrated vanilla. It won't water down my cake batter, and it'll still give that vanilla flavor. Now, granted, you'll have the little vanilla seeds running through it. I personally don't think that's a problem. Call it a vanilla cake. You'll be fine. But I'm using that instead of vanilla extract. You can use vanilla extract. That's not a problem at all. And I usually, when I don't have the ground vanilla, which frankly I gotta order. When I don't have the ground vanilla, I've got no problem with that part. All right, I think everybody's in here. Now, just because it's the rule, you have to taste your food. Oh, look! My new little magnetic measuring spoon came off the road. Okay, now I've got my oven over here set to 325 degrees. And actually, if you look at it, you'll think it's on 350, but it's not really, it's a trick. I have an oven thermometer so that I know exactly what temperature my oven is. And I tell you, when I really started baking a lot, that was the nicest thing I did for myself, is I splurged on a little $5 oven thermometer. And you know what? Even the oven thermometer loses calibration after a while. Okay, wait a minute. So I buy myself a new one. Here. See that? You don't want, most cake batters, you don't want them to pour. You want them to, you want to have to go after them. That's the air. Now, look, I almost had a blob that wasn't mixed in. So I've got two 8-inch 8-inch cake pans that I have buttered and floured. And all I'm going to do here is get all my cake batter out. I've got a pie in the fridge. I'm going to make another cake in a minute. I may let one of my kids eventually learn that I'm making sweets and lick the bowl, because I've already just about overdone it today. So smooth everybody out. We're going to stick that in there. I am going to start checking these at about 25 to 30 minutes. That's the total. About halfway through the cooking time, so at 15 minutes. Go ahead and rotate the pan. Simply swap them out. The back of your oven is often hotter than the front of your oven. And to make sure that they're perfectly even and lovely and wonderful and all that, just trade places with them. Okay, that's it. Smooth it out. Ready to go. Plop. Okay, into the oven, and when they're ready, I'll be back. Okay, so our little white velvet cakes baked off. They were in there. Actually, I think it was about 25 minutes. I forgot to set the timer, so I have no idea. But this is a very forgiving cake, and you want to go just until it's kind of gotten golden, and that if you put a skewer through the top, it comes out clean. Okay. After about 10 minutes, when they came out of the oven, give them 10 minutes to rest. I throw them on these wire racks, and they're now completely clean. And so when I'm about to frost them, I take a look and see which one's prettier on top, and this one's got a little more of a nick out of the side. I just brush the loose crumbs off, okay? And then put some parchment paper on your cake stand. I don't worry about decorating cakes. I really am not a cake decorator. I get extremely frustrated and irritated very quickly. I have on two occasions dumped the whole thing out when I was trying to make them foo-foo. I just don't do that to myself anymore. Alright, and then right here I've made just a simple vanilla buttercream, and we're going to frost it. Put a good bit between the layers. Now I know that you can use all kinds of tools to make your cakes really pretty. And offset spatulas are nice. I've used them. They're great. You don't have to have them. And here's why. You can just use a knife. That's the way now I want to slide. That's the way I grew up doing it, and frankly, I don't know if I could ever really get used to one unless I am trying to, if on occasion I've used one to make it extremely smooth. That's about the limit of my decorating right there. And I only do that if I'm about to throw a bunch of candy on top of it to make it look like somebody did something. Okay, so we're going to take our other cake. And this one is just a 2-layer cake. I'm just dusting him off. I love to make, really mile-high cakes. I just think it's fun. There's just something about as fabulous as it gets about a super tall cake. And I've noticed when I've been on my road trips, which I love to take a road trip. When I've been on my road trips, the South and the Midwest, just rock a cake. Okay, so we're all covered. Now check this out. I'm going to set him aside for a minute and come down over the top with all of this. Ha. Now I may have gotten this one just a tad too stiff, especially since my cake wants to roll away, run away. Now if you do have several layers and you're having a hard time keeping them centered, let me show you this trick. This is kind of cool. It won't keep your cake from sliding around on the plate, but it'll keep your layers from moving. There. That, especially if you've got, if you put 2 or 3 in there, just don't forget that you've done that, and like, give it to your 3-year-olds. If you want to, you can pull it out when you have finished frosting, especially if you're about to chill the cake, and the cake will set and hold itself together. But if you're not going to, you can snap it off right there and just leave it if you want the stability. Okay, so you cover the top, and you kind of see how I've been pushing out to the sides, and I normally go a lot faster because I'm not near as concerned as looking stupid on camera. But you push it over the sides and simply keep doing this. Let's see if I can get in here and let you see. Over the sides, and then smooth it in. And then if you have a tear, see, I get them all the time. That's why you have extra frosting. Now see, if you get some crumbs in it, fire him. He's done. And keep going. Okay. Now, this is not hard. Just be careful so we don't tear our cake. And I'm going to finish this up. I'm going to come back in just a minute. I've got a new cameraman, and he's been stalking my frosting. So, I guess I'll give up and I'll cut a piece for him. But I'll come back and let you see how I do it. Okay, so I finished him up, and all you do is just slowly work your way all the way around, and you're done. Now, I don't necessarily decorate, but I do like it kind of clean and neat. So, we move our little strips of parchment. And a few crumbs. Now, if you want to, which most of the time I do, I gotta say, if I don't have a teenager running my camera and waiting on cake, run a paper towel around that. Get it nice and clean. Okay? So this is the white velvet cake, and covered with just a vanilla buttercream. And let's see what he looks like inside. Let's see how we did. Is that big enough?
I'm good, whatever.
All right. There we go.
This is the part where we hurry so I can eat it.
This is exactly what you're looking for. See how that pretty little vanilla bean running through it? And it's absolutely deliciously moist. Mm. Okay, I get the first piece, sorry. Okay, recipe is already up on the website. So white velvet layer cake, go check it out. Hey Boone.
Hello?
What you got?
Cake.
How is it?
Great.